Hi everybody, I'm Disha Patel. I'll be explaining few diagrams about our application. First one is the architectural diagram. Now, in our application, we use three-tier application. So, the first part is the user interface. Basically, the user can interact, he can select a particular university and he can define his search, and the point of interest as well as the university, it will be displayed on the Google map. So, this is the first part. And we have used Microsoft.NET and Ajax as the technology to develop this project, and this serves as basically the middle tier. It's the tier between the user interface and the databases and the web services that we use. And basically the third tier is the local databases as well as the web services. Now we are utilizing Yellow Pages web services, Wikipedia and Wikipedia. Also we have gathered certain information from different sources, like as my friend mentioned, like we went to Google Earth and then we extracted the KML and then we stored it locally. And also we have some library information stored locally. So whenever the user wants to search the POIs, our application that utilizes this technologies, it will serve as the abstraction layer between the user interface and the database. Now I'll be explaining the sequence diagram. So this is what basically this represents the whole gist of the application. Now, as you can see, this is the user interface tier. Second one, as I already mentioned, our application has the abstraction layer, that is the middle tier, which separates the user interface from the local database and the web services. Then comes the Yellow Pages, Wikipedia, and local databases. Now, first of all, whenever the user will start the application, what will happen is the application will fetch all the name of the universities from the database, and we have like all this list is stored in the database. So in future, if you want to update the list, the user can go and whatever he has updated, it will be reflected in the application. So basically, we call the middle tier, and middle tier will extract all the data for the university, and then it will display. And say for example, if user select a particular university, it will display that particular university as a balloon. Now, secondly, what it does is, like, as I already told you, we use the Yellow Pages. Yellow Pages web service basically requires the zip code. So we will pass the zip code of the university that user has chosen, and the Yellow Pages will give back point of interest near that university. Now, the basic point of interest that Yellow Pages services gives are car wash, car accessory center, car conversion center, etc. So that will be, again, when it fetches that information from the web service, it will display on the Google map. Now, second, what happens is, like, we send a request to our local database for that to get the details of the university. Now, basically, what this does is, like, it fetches the geocode, that is the latitude and longitude, from the database. And why is this required? This is required because the Wikipedia as well as our local databases, it requires the geocode in order to find the point of interest within the radius that the user has specified. So secondly, it will when it returns the geocodes, we request to the Wikipedia, and again the Wikipedia will return the point of interest. And same thing will happen with local databases. We will pass on the geocodes for selected university to our local database, and then it will give the point of interest. And basically, local database stores the libraries and all the KMLs from the Google Earth. So it will return that, and again in turn we will display this point of interest on the map. So this is basically how our entire application works. Next, use case diagram. Okay. So now this is how user interacts with the application. When the user comes, first of all, he can select the university. He can select a particular POI, change settings, custom search, and get relations. Now, if I go to the detail, whenever he comes, he will have a drop-down list, and he can select a particular university, and then we will display the POIs. Now, when the user clicks a balloon for any particular POI, that balloon will expand, and it will give some information, some article that we have, and the user can read that article. What is that POI? Like if you have orange or something like that as your, as it returns orange or something like that as point of interest, he can see what is that and what is it all about. Now the third thing and very important thing is change settings. Now say for example, there's a university where like you initially we use 5 miles as the default radius to search. Now, say for example, our application does not return any, like it returns only 2 or 3 points, and then the user wants to increase the radius. What he can do is he can change the setting, and then he can specify the radius, and he can increase the radius as well as, if he's interested, as Manoj mentioned, only like he wants to search only for the Google Earth point of interest or only Wikipedia. He can choose that, and then when he hits the OK button, like it will be refined and user will get the refined results. Now, second one is custom search. Now, this custom search is very easy to use. What the user has to do is, like, say for example, he has selected University of Houston downtown, and he knows that the Chase building is very nearby that, and he just wants the Chase building displayed on the map. What he can do is, like, he can go to this option and he can just type the Chase, and our application will just have the balloon for the Chase building. So this is how it will help. Or say for example, if you want to search for pizza or something, a very particular specific search, he can utilize this function. And the last one is get directions. Now, whenever the user wants to get he wants to get direction from the particular point of interest and the selected university, he can use this. What will happen is, like, whenever he selects a particular point of interest from the list, a new browser window will open, and it will mark the shortest distance from the selected university to the point of interest, and also it will have all the directions from the source to destination. Now, the later on part will be covered by Dipesh.